Hi, welcome to the Dirty Nerdy episode 21. We are getting up there. We're getting old.
Yay, right? I'm surprised we're still going. Like we're still on the air. We haven't got, banned
Oh, we haven't said anything.
from
Come
YouTube
on.
yet. Like
No gamer words. We're good.
true. That's true. Yeah, it's true.
It's not like that's hard to avoid. Oh,
Yeah,
getting
right.
notifications for us going live. Cool. That's good.
Just so you know, you're going live if you didn't know that.
So, I'm Chris, and my co-host here with me is Avery. You'll notice we are short one right now. Steve might join us later. Something about a car and his daughter. So we'll see. In the meantime, Avery, how's dad life?
Dad life is great. I'm enjoying every minute of it. One thing I've noticed for this last week, really didn't get to do much of nerd shit that I wanted to do, but that's only because I've been feeling guilty leaving my lady to do anything by herself, even though she gives me 100% the go to just do whatever I want to do. So, I'm trying to not feel that guilty of doing that, and it's really explore. But other than that, daily life's been great. My daughter is amazing. Except for the times when she decides to instead of giving us the signal that she's hungry, like all the doctors and nurses said that she'll do, like she'll use her mouth and makes hand signals or whatever the case may be. My daughter does not do that. She decides that once she is hungry, she will look at you, and then 2 seconds later will scream bloody murder. So that's it's been great.
Okay. Communication issues. Go figure.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but yeah, it's been awesome. I've been, even though she hasn't really, I'm sure she isn't retaining any of it, but she's been watching, anime with me and watching me play my games and stuff. And she'll look at the screen, but I'm sure like she's not really seeing anything. She's just hearing the noise. And so that's been fun trying to get her early on in the train of getting involved in our world.
Soon enough.
Yeah.
I remember before baby girl came around that you were talking like you're going to have all this time to do all this stuff. And I think Steve and I both knew in the back of our heads, like, nah, dude.
Yeah.
Nah.
Right. Yeah. It's definitely been a shift, a change. But honestly, like, and like talking to you guys and even my friends, like it's helped me get prepared. But even then it's more just I gotta get used to my time management, and then just allow myself to have my me time, knowing especially when my lady gives me the okay for it, and just not feel guilty to allow myself to do things I want to do. But I definitely feel having a very supportive partner has been making this process of being a dad super easy. Like I have not feel stressed. Even the early weeks, when she was first born, I definitely was sleep deprived for sure. But as you guys saw, right? But it's honestly it's been a joy to this process, and like I think now I'm just got to get over it. Just I got to just manage my time, not feel guilty, and do the things I really want to do. Like I know I can.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would. Congratulations on not feeling stressed out about that and your skills and whatnot, because I don't think I could do that. I would definitely be constantly questioning myself.
Right.
So I didn't play any Elden Ring this week.
Wow.
Okay, so I didn't play a whole lot of video games. I did play some Cyberpunk.
Okay.
But I was sick. Still freaking sick. Turns out strep throat. Got some medicine. Feeling much better now. Like way better. And so that's getting taken care of. And hopefully next week can be a little more normal in my life. I was out Wednesday and Thursday, just donezo. Like couldn't do it. Didn't do anything. I'm trying to think. I watched stuff like, so I got this week.
Oh my god,
the
that is amazing. Wow, look at that.
No Way Home steelbook, and this is absolutely gorgeous. Like
Wow, that is beautiful.
this is my second favorite cover, but that's just because I'm really biased towards the Roger Rabbit one.
Yeah.
And then the inside's kind of whatever. Like it's kind of got like some web stuff going on.
Yeah.
And then you'll know one of the discs is missing because it's in the DVD player.
Right.
And I have watched it twice. It's good. It really doesn't. It's kind of become for me kind of like Ghostbusters Afterlife, where it really doesn't hit its stride until the third act.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. Yeah, I mean, I will give it. I'll give it this credit as far as being the third entry in a Spider-Man film. It's the best. I mean, well, I guess for the Sam Raimi, there's only been. I mean, there's been 3, and then for the Andrew Garfield's only been 2. But Amazing Spider-Man 2 was trash, and Spider-Man 3 was let's just not talk about that. But I feel like as far as being like the third entry, what I guess I'll say this, for having multiple villains in one movie, I feel this did really well.
This is the best third one out of the 3s.
Yeah.
And then we got this guy here. We know. We're fully aware of it. Shut up.
We apologize.
No, we don't.
You're right. You're right.
I ain't sorry.
Well, you're right. We ain't sorry.
Things happen, man.
It's true.
So, but yeah, out of the trilogy, definitely the best third one. And if I remember correctly, my original review was kind of like my original Ghostbusters Afterlife review.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry about being late. The whole thing about him being in trouble with the law for killing Mysterio, and then that just getting swept under the rug because they wanted to introduce Daredevil, like dumb. Like what a waste. What was that even all about?
Agree. Yeah, the first act, like you're saying, the first act with him, being in trouble with the law, like all of that, it doesn't add any actual value into the movie itself, like the main plot, right? Because no villains introduced, nothing's really introduced, and we already know, like we already or the character of Doctor Strange has already been established, so like, and them knowing each other has already been established, so like, all of that was completely it was kind of pointless. Like I get they're trying to
bring in Charlie Cox, Daredevil,
which was cool to see him. It was cool to see him. That was super cool
when he caught the brick and everything.
Yeah.
Like, who are you? I'm a really good lawyer. Like, I mean, that was cool. Yeah. But otherwise, that's all it was for. It was just for that quick little payoff.
Right. And then after that, it just immediately went into the main plot. Yeah. So
I mean, that's what kept him and his friends from getting accepted to schools. But yeah. I know I watched something else. I watched Moonknight, episode 3. Which we will talk about at the end of the show. We got a bunch of stuff to talk about today. So I can't remember what the hell else I watched. I wasn't feeling well. So on that note, let's just go ahead and get into our first topic.
Let's do it.
Kingdom Hearts 4 gets the first reveal trailer.
Oh my god, I can't believe they're making a 4 after the fiasco of 3, but okay.
So I know nothing about the fiasco in 3. What happened with 3?
So, I mean, and we talked offline about this, because this is good to bring back up. So, the whole Kingdom Hearts, when 3 came out, people started realizing how convoluted the Kingdom Hearts story is, right? I think everyone loved the first and the second one, right? And I don't think anyone paid too much mind that, I think people were just too engulfed in the gameplay and the story at that time.
I did.
Right. Yeah. Right. That I don't think they really thought about like how just batshit crazy the story was until Kingdom Hearts 3 came out, and then the story for Kingdom Hearts 3 and the gameplay were just not really good, and the storyline for 3 just did not make sense whatsoever. So I think then people start going back, they're like, oh, well, Kingdom Hearts 2 definitely made sense. And then people are like, actually, now that I look back at it, no, it didn't. And this didn't start with 3. That's just how the franchise has been in general. Like, it's like Final Fantasy on the ultimate, story crack, where it just goes all over the place. And then it just doesn't make any sense. But so the fiasco that happened with 3 is like the gameplay was very repetitive. It was very boring. And then on top of that, the story didn't make sense. People were very angry that the direction that they went with the story and just how convoluted it was. So like, I'm surprised that there, with all the backlash to with 3, that 4 is being made. Like, that's, I mean, I guess they hit their sales number, because that would be the only case I would see that they make a 4,
Analytics.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, when 3 was announced, I was a little excited.
Right, same.
And then what I was telling you was, I remembered I never finished Kingdom Hearts 2. And I never played Kingdom Hearts 1, but I remember Kingdom Hearts 2 and having a lot of fun. And I was like, oh yeah, Kingdom Hearts 2, I put a ton of time into it, and I got tired of it because I didn't know what the hell was going on. I didn't know why I was taking all these things out.
Right.
And so, instead of having known all the time I put into 2 and not wanting to go put that into 1, I go to YouTube to try and figure out, what is this story?
Right.
The way that these YouTubers had to try and put together all these different games to try and explain this story was just such a turnoff. And I'm like, I don't care.
Right.
I can't be brought to care. Like, there's no.
And that your story is in trouble when you have YouTubers who will pretty much do this for a living, right? Where they just break down these games. If they can't even put it together and make it make sense.
You have to play them in all sorts of different orders between the different Game Boy games and the PlayStation games. Whatever. Like,
I didn't even mention that, right? As far as when it comes to the storyline and like how the ports for on the Game Boy and stuff, and those different one-offs games that also relate to the main story, that if you didn't play that, then it's crazy. Which, did they even have a story? You know what I mean? Why? What it kind of reminded me of is how Final Fantasy 15 kind of handled its story structure. How because with Final Fantasy 15 or the Boy Squad, they released a movie, right? They released a movie beforehand, like the Kingsglaive, and then they also released these little snippets, whatever, on YouTube. And if you didn't watch those before playing the game, you wouldn't really understand what's going on, because when you were playing the game, it was kind of it was doing this whole oh, you should just know who these people are, because if you watch the Kingsglaive, then you'll know what's going on. And it's and I didn't do that at first. And when I played the game, I wasn't invested into the characters. For one, I kind of just hated the main character anyway. I thought he was just a little whiny bitch. But at the same token, it's one of those
might be a common theme these days.
Right. But the same token, I didn't understand the city he was from. I didn't understand, his royalty. None of it was kind of really fleshed out. And the main, thing that I read online or Reddit, they're oh, well, if you didn't watch the Kingsglaive, or if you didn't watch, the YouTube clips, then you wouldn't know what it's about. You got to watch those. I'm like, why would I shouldn't have to do that in order to get the full story experience of a game. I feel that's a bad way to develop or design a game. You're isolating your audience. Don't do that.
Yeah. So in this article, there's not a whole lot in this article that I really care about. There's one thing that I found funny that I did not know about. So this is actually about the 30th anniversary of Final Fantasy event that happened 5 years ago. And I guess they had $1,000 chocobo wine at that Final Fantasy event that went over real well. I was like, what?
What?
And yeah, so yeah, this is $1,000 Final Fantasy 30th anniversary wine that they came out with. I didn't hear
What?
about
So
that.
I guess so. I'm guessing it's a Cabernet, right? I see the red one, and then
Well,
it's
it
what
looks
a
like
Pinot,
they've got the
a
red and the
Pinot,
white.
right?
They don't really say what it is, but
Oh, that's insane. I'm
that
kind
was the
of
thing for the
curious.
Final Fantasy 30th anniversary.
Wow.
They apparently they didn't do anything like that for the Kingdom Hearts 20th anniversary. But then the other thing, and this kind of threw me for a loop when I was like trying to put the title in today's episode, because when I saw this image, I was like, wait, I thought Kingdom Hearts 3 already happened. So this is the logo for Kingdom Hearts 4. Does that look like a 4 or a 3 to you?
That looks. I mean, it looks like a 3. I see what they're doing with the because they're doing the Roman numerals,
Yeah.
but it still looks like a 3.
Yeah.
Like I see it. I see the V. I see that it's actually 4. But from being a designer and this looks really
Why
bad.
I
It still
bring it
looks
to
like
you.
yeah, it still looks very similar to what their design was for Kingdom Hearts 3. And so what I immediately look at this, like, yeah, you're right. When you showed me this before, my eyes didn't even go down to like, oh, never mind, the two lines are connected. I thought it was the same logo. So this is bad. This is bad design.
It's not good. It's not good.
Yeah.
I mean, they definitely stick with like the theme of what Kingdom Hearts has been with the font and everything.
Right.
But like this is just terrible. You need to figure out some way to get this V just stand out some way.
Yeah. Because it doesn't. Like
And with this kind of font, it just might not be possible.
Right. And it just and I don't know, maybe when the official title comes out where maybe they add a little more color into it, but like everything so far, this whole the gray that it has right now, everything blends in, which is why again it was hard for me to even notice that that it was an actual V versus the two lines like it was for Kingdom Hearts 3. But yeah, that's
like maybe this was like red with like a gold outline.
Yeah, right. That'll probably help a little, help draw the eyes more. But what it is now, it definitely did not help. And if I didn't know that, oh, they're trying to do the Roman numeral approach, I would have completely thought this is 3.
Yep. So, do you care?
Oh, I mean, even though I've read and heard about the fiasco for Kingdom Hearts 3, I personally didn't play it only because I felt it just wasn't in my best interest to spend my time on it. I was like you, very excited about Kingdom Hearts 3. I don't know if I want to be excited for Kingdom Hearts 4. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I just don't care because I'm not going to spend the time to get into the story. Now, maybe if they've rebooted it, and I don't mean redo it, reboot it, like start over.
Yeah.
Then maybe I'd go back because I had a lot of fun playing the second one.
Yeah.
I'm not going to finish it.
Right.
But I had fun.
Yeah.
Steve says we need to talk about something that doesn't suck assholes professionally. Kingdom Hearts, that's the thing is like Kingdom Hearts. So I can't speak to 3, but I know the first 2 games and a lot of the Game Boy stuff is beloved by the fans.
Right.
And so the gameplay was good and the design and everything was really good. And like they bring in the whole Disney aspect, so that makes it interesting with the Final Fantasy stuff.
Yeah.
So I mean, you're chilling with God as a adult man saying this, like this is a little embarrassing, but I mean, you're hanging out with Goofy and Donald.
Goofy and Donald, yeah.
And you're having a blast kicking some ass.
Yeah. Right.
Like
real talk, right? I mean, the concept of Kingdom Hearts, having a blend of Final Fantasy characters and Disney characters, it's funny. I wish I was like a fly in the room for like that pitch meeting for just the first one, right? Like just that approach, like, hey, I got an idea, guys. Bear with me. This is gonna sound crazy, but what if we did Disney characters? Final Fantasy characters.
Winnie the Pooh kicked ass.
Yeah, what if Winnie the Pooh was like just all of a sudden he's a mage who just like, instead of him just throwing, regular honey, like it was just specialized, bee honey that is just, melted enemies
Yeah.
away, whatever, right? Like, I would have been like, what grown person would play that? And then, long and behold, everyone played it, like kids and adults together,
Yeah.
and did not feel slightly, weird about it. And you're like, okay, this is cool. I'm kicking
Kingdom
ass
Hearts
for
2 was
Mickey.
huge. Yeah, Kingdom Hearts 2 was huge. So that's why we talk about Kingdom Hearts, because it was important at one point in time.
At one point in time, before the shit show of Kingdom Hearts 3, then everyone like, wait a minute, hold on. Like,
Everyone else caught up to me
yeah,
and realized this doesn't make any damn sense.
right. Yeah, everyone was like, this is our beloved franchise. And then now they're like, well, actually, now think about it, the story doesn't make sense.
So I want to talk about something that I think is going to possibly be my movie of the year.
Okay,
And
let's do
I
it.
would like us to do a review on this movie next weekend. It comes out this week.
All right.
And it comes out up against that new Nick Cage movie, which looks cool, looks funny, but this is going to blow it away, I think. This is The Northman. And yes.
I mean, I'm already sold because I'm a huge fan of Alexander Skarsgård. So
yeah, so just right here in the little summary, we've got Alexander Skarsgård, Nicole Kidman, Claire Clace Bang, I don't know who that is, Anna Taylor-Joy, Ethan Hawke, again, Bjork, William Dafoe, all in this. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in full screen, and we're going to this is the second trailer. I don't think I've seen this one. I think I saw the first one when I went and saw the Batman. So we're going to let this play. Let me know if you hear audio.
Yep.
Do you know anything Robert Eggers or Eggers has done before? I don't know that name off the top of my head.
Robert Eggers, that sounds familiar. I'm trying to think. What have I heard him before? No, yeah, I can't say I've yeah. Can't say I've
he did Witch. That goat movie.
Yeah,
that was on Netflix. He also did Lighthouse. I didn't know. I haven't watched Lighthouse. I
haven't watched it either, but I heard that was really good.
That's one of those AK films, and
yeah,
you just have to be in the right place for that.
Right.
He also did A Telltale Heart, which I watched a very long time ago and don't remember.
Huh.
All right, so he's got some stuff under his belt. That Witch one was very interesting.
Yeah, I remember watching that. That was, yeah.
Okay. So first off, the second trailer's not as good as the first one, because the first one, it definitely lays down the story.
Yeah, this one seems like it's going more for cinematography. I think it's going more to visuals, which is what I'm noticing.
Which is cool.
It's cool. Like I'm like, actually, I was thinking in my head, right? Because usually with movies that use just a lot of bland or grayscale colors, sometimes it makes the movie just not seem interesting. But I'm liking how visually this is looking, even though it looks very, there's a lot of like grays and blues, especially in the beginning of this trailer. But I feel like it's still visually aesthetically pleasing, and it fits with this. And even like they're in the woods, like I'm seeing a lot of the visual aspect, and I'm guessing that's what the trailer's for. Like this is more visual than story, and so far I'm loving it. Like this is really nice.
Yeah, this is definitely not a good introduction to a movie, in my opinion.
Agreed.
Because there's unless you're like super into visual stuff, which isn't going to be a whole lot of people. Like I mean, people like looking at pretty things.
Yeah.
But that's not going to be enough to get them to go see your movie.
Right. Especially because this is April. So you're looking at more of like getting ready for the action adventure type crowd, right? So you want the audience who want the big explosions and the action and the blood and gore. So yeah, this is definitely more like if I'm going to a Sundance festival and, I'm looking at like a movie and more for its cinematic value versus it's just what it's showing storyline, then yeah, this is the trailer I'll be watching.
We might watch the first one after this if I don't feel it gets enough into it, but we've still got more than halfway to go. So
minute, yeah.
let's see if I can. Oh, slash film. I'm like, who?
Like what? Stone cold masterpiece.
It just says film. I'm like,
Right. Like,
who?
okay.
Oh, slash film. All right.
Slash, yeah. Right. It's like, okay. So this trailer was definitely for the visual nerds for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't quite. I mean, because I know what it is, it's got me stoked. But
Yeah. I mean, for first time for me, even seeing, just one trailer for it. But again, my view of movies, especially for something like this, is more visual. So like that, it hooks me. But again, if you're like you're saying earlier, right? If you're trying to draw an audience, this is definitely not the introductory trailer that I would send to somebody in order to be like, hey, you should watch The Northman, and then you send them that, you're like, I don't. Why?
So I want to watch the first one because I want I have no business doing this, but I want to sell people on going to see this movie because I think it's going to be amazing. It looks like it's just one of those old action movies where we're just going to get a lot of ass kicking with a bunch of I don't know. It just looks like a normal movie.
It does. No, I agree with you. It looks like a normal movie. I feel the cast decision is amazing. Like, I don't know. I feel anything William Dafoe. I've never so far seen a movie where William Dafoe is in where I'm not at least somewhat either satisfied, whether that be comical or serious or whatever the case may be.
I need to go back and watch Boondock.
Oh my god. Oh man. Yeah, I need to go back and watch. I love the Boondock. Boondock Saints are and then you have some heavy hit, like some old school heavy hitters like Nicole Kidman. And then of course you have Anya Taylor-Joy, like she's been doing great, as far as in filming. And then again, like I'm a huge fan of Alexander Skarsgård and a big fan of Bill Skarsgård when he did, when for his portrayal of for It. I think he did really well. But yeah, I guess a side note, I kind of have a crush, like, little man crush, Alexander Skarsgård. Like I just,
Okay.
like, I don't know. He just seems like a really cool guy, and he's just, I don't know. He's built, man. Like he's tall, he's built. Like, I don't know. I want to be like him.
All right. That's cool. So this is the first one.
Nice. Yeah, this looks amazing.
Yeah. I must know what this is.
Yeah, I'm all on board. I mean, I was on board with when you showed me the first trailer we watched, just because my visual nerd just went through the roof. I'm like, oh my god, this is beautiful. But then now watching this one, I'm like, this looks really good, both story wise, visually, and just something fresh. Like it's just like a fresh movie. It's not a superhero movie. It doesn't look too heavy on as far as just here's all action. Like I feel like it looks like it's a good balance, and I'm here for it.
Yeah, I can't wait. I want to go and look for tickets right now because I want to be there like the first showing. Because yeah, if it's good, I might go see it twice next weekend. Like, and I've been, I don't know. Do you remember Chris Gore from the G4 days?
Oh yeah.
So he's got a YouTube channel called Film Threat.
Okay.
And he's already done a non-spoiler review, and he says it's really good. And I love Chris Gore. I think Chris Gore is awesome, and he is still the same person he was back in the day.
Back in G4. Ah, those were the days, huh? G4.
Not like the new G4.
Oh yeah, no. We won't talk about we won't talk about the new G4. We won't even mention the new G4. I didn't even know that was still a thing, honestly. So there you go.
Yeah, they just kind of showed up.
Wow.
So instead of new G4, let's talk about new DCEU.
Let's do it.
So Warner Brothers Discovery exploring overhaul of DC Entertainment because, Discovery owns it and they want to redo things. So I read this whole thing a couple times actually, and I made some highlights about some stuff that was said. One of the things that, like, these first two highlighted points are, I feel, a contradiction and it just sounds like no one knows what the hell they're talking about. So this whole article might be pointless.
Yeah.
Until the end. The end, there's a doozy.
Okay. Let's go through it.
So the first is a goal of finding someone to serve as creative and strategic czar, similar to Marvel has in Kevin Feige. So they don't have one person kind of like holding it all together, which kind of explains, some of the weirdness between the universe where things just aren't lining up. Like,
right.
Yeah.
I mean, it was the whole, to me, what I saw for the DCEU was them trying to capitalize on what Marvel was doing as far as, the Avengers, right? And, they saw how successful Avenger was. And then, because like DC, they weren't the only ones who jumped on that, right? Then you had like the monster universe, the dark universe with Universal, right? They tried to do that. But again, right, like just this first point, if you don't have like a Kevin Feige, how do you say his last name? Is it
Kevin Feige?
Feige. Okay.
Feige.
If you don't have, I guess a creative director, I guess is what he would essentially be, right?
Yeah. He's just head honcho of
right.
MCU.
But yeah, if you don't have someone like that to be established before you just, put all of these together, then yeah, you're gonna have a mess as we've seen.
So this next highlighted point says one insider suggested that Zaslav was less interested in finding a creative guru and more eager to hire someone who had the type of business background needed to keep all the different factions at DC working more harmoniously. So is Kevin Feige a creative? Is finding a Kevin Feige finding a creative guru, or is it finding a business person?
Yeah,
I honestly don't know what Kevin Feige really does.
I don't either, but
like he's just there. Like I'm just guessing he's just up there to like, yes, no, yes,
right,
no.
But yeah, but I feel Kevin Feige fits both of these roles. Like he is
that would make sense.
He's the creative guru as far as like, this is a creative way we should go because this is how we keep everything harmonized or harmonic and also business wise. Like this is how we keep everything flowing. Like I feel Kevin Feige did that. So by this highlight, with them looking for someone less creative guru and more business, I feel like no, you need both. That's how that's how the Marvel was successful. Like they made money off of making sure everything was kept tight together by having a creative flow, but also having that business aspect under it.
And maybe you got two of them. Maybe you got one who does the creative thing and one who does the business thing. And you're going to have to find two people that work really well together.
Really well. Yeah, really, they mesh well together.
Because they'd have to understand each other.
Right.
And be able to compromise and everything. I honestly think that would probably be the best way to go instead of having one ring to rule them all.
Yeah.
Just have two people who work really well together, who are able to compromise and also have a vision.
Right.
Because there's definitely a lack of vision. I mean, we've got two different versions of the Justice League, which I'm grateful for.
Yeah.
Because the first one, and then the second one, the Zack Snyder cut, kind of better.
Kind of better.
Too fucking long, but kind of better.
Yeah.
So then they go on to say DC has achieved cinematic success with recent films such as Aquaman and the Batman. It lacks a coherent creative and brand strategy. I wouldn't disagree. I think bringing the Batman the Batman into this
Mhm.
as an idea of coherent and brand strategy, you could have, I don't know how many different Batman runs going at the same time, and people are going to watch them if they're good.
Yeah, yeah.
Like Batman has earned his place in just make Batman movies type role.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
you,
Agreed. Like, he doesn't have to be intertwined with any universe or,
nope.
creative process of trying to combine superheroes. He can do his own thing. People will watch it no matter what type of version of a Batman it is. Like, he's fine.
Yeah. So you could have a Batman in the DCEU and then a
Yeah.
Batman just
Yeah.
doing his own thing. You could do the same
Exactly.
thing with Spider-Man too.
Yeah, true. Very true.
Like those are two characters that are so well established. You can
Yeah.
do whatever you want with them
Well, I mean, yeah,
as
to your
long as you're
point,
writing good stories.
as long as you're writing a good story, and yeah, to your point, right? Like an evident as far as because we do have two different Spider-Mans, right? We have the Miles Morales animated one for
Mhm.
Into the Spider-Verse, and then
Right.
you have your Tom Holland one, and they're both working perfectly fine. Like
I think
they're both a hit.
I think if Sony really wanted to,
Mhm.
they could add it. They could make that third Andrew Garfield one,
Oh, definitely.
and it wouldn't
Oh,
screw with
easily,
anything.
easily.
Give it
Yeah.
to Sam Raimi. Let him give Garfield a story, please. He was the
Please.
best.
He was the best. One thing I really appreciated and I thought was funny in No Way Home, it made me feel really bad about Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man because it really just showed like, man, he really didn't have anything. He's like, man, I
No.
wanted to fight aliens. Like, I wanted to do things. Like, I felt for him because, like, yeah, he
Mhm.
didn't really have anything.
Well,
And
I mean,
like,
they had so bringing Electro in was a great idea.
right,
Shit story.
very,
Like, and had Gwen Stacy not died, it would have been pointless entirely.
yeah, yeah. Like, no
Um,
one would have really talked about it. You
yeah.
know, it wouldn't have
Well,
been a discussion.
no one's really so after No Way Home came out, I went back and watched both of those Amazing Spider-Mans. The
Mhm.
first one's okay, and
Yeah,
then the second one's just so disappointing.
yeah.
Like, but yeah, so they go on to say they also believe that projects like Todd Phillips' Joker, good movie. I got
Mhm.
into it a little late. Everyone kind of hyped it up too much. It was a good movie.
Right.
I I was just a little late to it, and everyone I think overhyped it for me,
Yeah.
and that's why I'm not like blown away by it like everyone else was.
Yeah.
Uh, are shining examples of how second build characters from the DC library can and should be exploited.
Hmm.
Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn is another example. Birds of Prey, people. Is
Oh,
worse
man.
than Transformers 3.
Yeah, Birds of Prey was pretty bad.
Birds of Prey is a terrible movie.
It was very bad. I
I go
honestly,
back
I
and try
never
and
I
watch
never
it.
thought I would be sick of seeing a character as much as I did in, like, a full-length film that I did when I was watching Birds of Prey. Like, I like Harley Quinn as a character, but when I was watching that movie, I was like, "Just please let it end." Like, I'm over it
It was
now.
bad. It was bad. I heard about a lot of people just walking out of that one, which
Yeah,
is
like,
yeah.
I was over it. Also, fun little or thing I was thinking about. So I feel with the Batman and Todd Phillips' Joker, I feel those would be two good characters in the same universe. I feel those would mesh really well.
Ooh. Instead of that dumbass one that came from the deleted scenes,
Yeah, yeah.
which was that guy that I couldn't stand in the Eternals. I didn't even know that.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I bet you money you've never seen Birds of Prey. You're a dumbass. Get out of here. Um, but yeah. So Harley Quinn.
Mhm.
Harley Quinn is from what is possibly one of the greatest animated series ever, the
Right.
Batman animated series. And
Yeah.
that's where she started.
Right.
And she was just Joker's poor, brainwashed, manipulated lackey.
Just a punching
And
bag.
she was just a nutbag.
Yeah.
And now they've tried to develop her beyond that. And I don't know if it's my opinion offends Steve. I am not sorry.
Yay, we're doing our job. We're offending people. That's perfect.
But they're trying to grow her character.
Yeah.
I don't know if it works outside of the realm of being with the Joker.
I agree.
Because who is she?
Right, without being with the
And then
Joker.
all of a sudden she's got sense and sensibilities.
Right.
You just
Which I
destroyed
get
the character.
Right, which I get that's what they were trying to do with Birds of Prey. They're like, no, she doesn't need the Joker to be her own character. But like, I feel even like because even with the animated series, the Harley Quinn animated series that they have on HBO on DC, like they realized that they still needed the Joker in there to kind of just flesh it out, like kind of just have that character growth.
You know, maybe so. Like Harley Quinn was a psychiatrist,
right?
So maybe if you want to do that growth, like she starts realizing some of these psychiatric things, but then that would completely heal herself, and you would no longer have Harley Quinn. You know what I mean? Like, you have to have a complete psycho, insane person. And you know what? It might require some of that codependency between her and the Joker for this character to work.
Right. No, like, that makes sense. And again, I mean, so this is actually why, you know, I enjoyed watching the Harley Quinn animated series, because it explored that aspect of it. Explored the fact that, like, yes, at the end of the day, she was a psychiatrist and she had a breakdown, that she had a codependency towards the Joker. So within the 2 seasons, you see her growth, because she's not only trying to break that codependency, but she's also realizing her own psychological break that she had. So she's growing from that, and then like she's becoming more of her own by healing, you know, and moving her away from the Joker. But in a sense, like you saw that growth, versus when the Birds of Prey, I didn't see that. I didn't like she was still the same character she was in the beginning and she was at the end, just without, I guess, being with the Joker. You know, like I didn't see anything. There was nothing.
Lack of character growth makes for a shit movie.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, if you go down that alley with Harley Quinn, you end up with a normal person.
Yeah.
Like, who cares? Like, good for her. Like, you can make a good story out of it, but you don't have Harley Quinn anymore. You have Harley Quinzel or whatever her name was.
Harleen Quinzel. Yeah.
Harleen Quinzel. You go back to who she was, the professional and the educated woman, and you know, the whole person.
Right.
And so you lose that.
It doesn't make for good
comic
TV.
book essence.
Yeah, it doesn't make for a good comic book. You know, yeah.
So, yeah, good luck figuring that one out.
Right.
Like trying to have some sort of growth. Like, I don't know. You had someone who was fully developed, professional, fucking doctor,
right? And then just went batshit crazy.
And then she went batshit crazy. Which sure, and the Joker is great at that. You know, he's a wordsmith. He likes screwing with people and all that stuff. And he just so happened to do it with the hot chick that he wanted to be with.
Right.
So that worked out well for him. And then when you try and undo that, you just end up back to where she was. I don't know how you undo that. And she would, I guess she would have to have some sort of like anti-hero code of ethics.
Yeah.
Like,
which which I think that would work, you know, as far as keeping the character, you know, a very interesting character.
But she has no superhero powers. She's not super strong. You know?
So that's another thing, right? They you know, they put her in these roles where on par with, you know, Batman or all of these people, and sure, she has some sort of fighting capabilities, but like she doesn't have, you know, the martial arts capability as Batman or any of that. Yet she's on par, like she's on par with all of these, you know, either metahumans or, you know, above superhuman level of abilities. Like even with Deadshot, right? Like, even though he doesn't have any superpowers, like he's been skilled, he's trained himself to be a master, you know, shooter, like a master marksmith. You know, when I look at Harley Quinn, she has a bat and she just swings things around, and you know,
and her superpower is psycho.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
That's all it is.
right.
And that's fine. I don't have a problem with it. I enjoy it. I think it's great.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, we got someone else offended. Cyber Ninja offended.
Ooh.
Birds of Prey is a modern masterpiece.
Hey, everyone's entitled to their own opinion, you know? I'm glad they enjoyed it. That's hey, that's what movies are for, right? Someone has to enjoy it, you know? We all have our different opinions.
So they go on to talk about how some of the new stuff that they're trying to do. Recent examples include HBO Max show Peacemaker, which was an all right show. I thought it was woke as fuck. If they wouldn't have made it so much about that, it probably would have been a much better show for me. And then, so it's been off of Suicide Squad, as well as the upcoming planned series on Colin Farrell's The Penguin and Gotham City's police force. Okay, I had heard rumors of the Gotham City police force thing. Didn't we do that already? Wasn't that called Gotham?
Gotham, yeah, I believe so.
Which I kind of liked. I didn't watch it all the way through, but I was kind of digging it. I like the guy who played Gordon, and then his partner. I love him, everything that he's in. I can't think of the dude's name, but he's hilarious. He used to be on some family sitcom back in the day that I loved. You know, so that's definitely a thing. So that maybe that's something different than what Disney's doing versus DC. Whereas Disney's making TV shows to kind of help launch movies.
Yeah.
Well, no, actually, we don't know what the hell Disney's doing with their TV shows. I guess we'll kind of find out come Doctor Strange coming up here next month.
Yeah, I think
because there's really no they haven't led to anything, and we've got Loki, we've got Captain America, which I guess the new Captain America movies just started getting filmed. And then
Hawkeye.
So
I think the only
Moonknight.
ties, I think the only ties as far as like TV and movie would be WandaVision, because Wanda's going to be in Strange.
Yeah. Yep. And I didn't watch WandaVision.
I haven't finished it yet. No.
I'm not happy about what I've heard. She took a whole town. It sounds like she took a whole town hostage.
Yeah.
And didn't have any sort of repercussions.
No, none at all.
That's a bad guy.
Right.
That's a bad guy. That's a villain. That's not a hero. We don't celebrate that, no matter how much your fifis have been hurt.
And it was all about
Steve and Cyber Ninja.
And it was all about her fifis.
Yeah, you can't do that kind of stuff, especially when you have superpowers.
Yeah.
I believe the saying is, with great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah.
Let's remember that, Disney.
Right. You know?
The Nerdy Bad Douche Opinion channel.
Yeah, we're just getting all the hate today. It's fine.
I love it. So back to this DC stuff. The Penguin show, whatever. Gotham police force don't want it. Can we have a Batman show?
I would love that. Yeah.
Like a full-fleshed Batman show. This isn't my idea. I'm stealing this from this dude Neurotic, and I think he's absolutely spot on. Do a Batman show. Stop the Batman movies and do a Batman series. We can have some Game of Thrones type shit going on with this.
Yes.
Like bring in Batgirl, Batwoman, Robin, Nightwing, freaking Penguin, Mr. Freeze, the Riddler. You know, they kind of did this once. But now the technology that we have, I mean, Adam West would be so damn jealous of what that show could be today.
Oh, definitely. Agreed. Honestly, all you have to do, right, is you hit a nail in the coffin. Just take the stories and the concept of the Batman animated series and use that as your live action Game of Thrones esque Batman TV series.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, you're of course the main story is Batman, but again, it's him going and stopping the Penguin on one episode, or next episode he's maybe teaching Robin how to, you know, be a better crime fighter, or
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah, like you're like, seriously, there's just so much to be explored, right? If you just make Batman as a TV series, I would love to watch it. I would love to watch that.
And you can do the whole relationship building between the
Exactly.
Bat team and
Yeah.
like and like could do the Killing Joke storyline.
Oh
God,
my
that'd
God.
be awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even though I
really
know
would.
that's like not canon or whatever, but we
Yeah.
get to the point where Barbara's, you know, in the wheelchair and everything. Like,
Right.
like
No, it would be great. Like, honestly, I would rather have that. And as much as I'm, you know, all about the Penguin coming out, I think that'd be really cool. I'd rather have it be the Batman TV series and maybe a few few storylines of episodes in there that are talking about or going through with the Penguin, where,
well, you
you
could
know,
do a whole season where it's the Penguin and
yeah,
like all the stuff
totally,
that he's doing to maneuver all his pieces
yep,
to do whatever. And then
easily,
you can have a
yeah,
whole season of Mr. Freeze. And then you can have a whole season where the Riddler helps break out the Penguin and they're doing their thing or whatever. Like there's
yeah.
so much
There's so much.
room.
Yeah,
So
there's so
much
much.
room.
There is. You're right. Oh man, that would be amazing. That would be perfect.
So yeah, okay, keep making your TV shows. I'm tired of streaming.
Yeah,
I'm tired of TV.
yeah.
It's such a commitment.
It
It's
is
such
a
a commitment.
there's so much content. There's just so much, and it's. I mean, it was difficult before I had a kid, but it's just even more now. I'm just like, there's too much.
Remember like 5 to 10 years ago, and someone would be like, "You haven't seen that yet?"
Right.
And now when I hear that, I just want to be like, "Shut the hell up."
Yeah.
Do you know how
I was-
much TV is out there right now? Like,
right.
who can keep up with all this crap?
Yeah. Like, I'm sorry, I have a life, and then also there's just, while you're thinking about this amazing content, there's another streaming service that has this other amazing content, and like, and not everyone has Netflix or HBO or whatever the case. Like, it's a lot.
So here's the last point that I highlighted.
Okay.
Zaslav has pledged to find $3 billion in synergies in the newly merged company.
Jesus.
A signal of how important cost cutting will be. What? This website sucks ass. The signal of how important cost cutting will be to Warner's new owners.
Huh.
$3 billion in synergies. What is a synergy?
What does that even mean? I'm so confused.
But it is a signal of how important cost cutting will be.
I feel like that. Okay, I feel that's
Avery,
those are kind.
you've been synergized.
But you're
Bye.
also right. Exactly. I'm like, I'm confused. I'm confused. I thought, you know, the buzzword. I'm surprised we're still using the buzzword synergy anyway. But I thought that was all about, you know, we all coming together and we're a team and all this
Think
stuff.
about
And
it. If it's, I mean, could you imagine $3 billion in layoffs? Holy fuck!
that's
But
crazy.
what better way than to come together but get rid of a bunch of crap in the middle?
I mean, I guess synergy would have been the term I would have used to say that. Yeah, we're going to spend $3 billion to cut people off. Like, I feel those are
It's
very
like,
different, contradicting words.
and then now Steve is threatening to give us some amazing content.
Oh boy,
I don't want to know what that means.
I'm scared.
No, I will not go watch your Pornhub channel.
Right? Yeah.
So, yeah, the synergies. It's like streamlining. $3 billion in streamlining. God damn it! Why can't you guys get your fucking ads to work? But, yeah, it sounds like there's some cost cutting coming in, which I hate to hear people losing their jobs.
Right, we hate to hear it, but also I get about cutting the mud. And
They've had enough problems finding talented writers, so
right, yeah,
yeah, things are changing. $3 billion is a lot. I don't know if that. I really hope that's not $3 billion in layoffs, because that's a lot of people. That is a boatload of people.
Yeah, that's a lot.
And it's usually not the people who need to be fired.
Right.
It's always the muckety mucks get to keep their jobs, and the people that need the money end up losing their shit.
Right.
But yeah, so that's DC's plan. Really not a whole lot out there. Also, one thing I wanted to mention was about the Joker. And the reason why I understand it was such a success is because the studio didn't get involved at all. The studio didn't think they had anything there. And so they just let that guy make his movie.
Interesting. I feel like they should probably, keep doing that. Not be involved.
hold on. You mean shit gets better when management's not involved?
Wow, that's crazy.
What a story of mine and Avery's professional careers.
Oh my God, right. Upper management not meddling with, the affairs of, the people that you hired to do exactly what you hired them to do, what they're good at.
Trust your people.
Right.
Shit.
It's like, we heard you're a great designer and you have great theories. We'll let, but I get that you're a designer and you have your opinions and, this is a great concept, but I don't think this is going to work. And why do you think it's not going to work? I don't know. It's just, as a product owner, I just feel like
because Twitter analytics say they really like this. Well,
right.
Only, 10% of people on Twitter actually use Twitter. Oh, well, that's okay. That's what Twitter says.
So Twitter says, so that's the direction we're going to go. I mean, I get that you spend many years honing your skills and doing all of your exploring and user experience and doing your A/B testing, but Twitter said this, so this is where we're going. Like,
you've spent all this time developing stories and understanding the integration of characters and how a character growth is displayed on a screen and everything, but we really want to make sure this person says this, so we take the entire audience out of the fucking environment.
Right. And explosions. Don't forget explosions. We need all the explosions. Like,
well, I mean, those can be done right.
I mean, they can.
Did you go see what was that movie I was ranting on about at Christmas time? The Last Kiss Goodnight or something like that.
Oh, what is Samuel Jackson? Yeah.
Dude, the explosions at the end of that are so over the top and so called for.
Definitely.
But
I hear my baby girl crying.
Well, you didn't watch Moonknight. It was an okay episode. I had one really big complaint. So, okay, 3. One minor one. The rooftop scene choreography was buttholes. And I don't know, possibly racist. And for me to say that, you're definitely walking a line.
That's pretty big. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Just possibly. I'll wait to hear your opinion.
Okay. Yeah. I'm now. And you piqued my you piqued my interest.
Like low key, certainly low key, but they were going for something and they didn't fucking do it. I felt it was disgusting. But anyways, and then there was a part where this dude's called in for judgment, and it's a bunch of gods. Like this guy's surrounded by a bunch of these gods, right? And not one of them couldn't tell he wasn't lying. Okay. And then there's another part where Mark clearly needs to summon the suit, and he takes his sweet ass time doing so because he has become a broken man. So there's now 2 broken men inside of what's his bucket. We had Steve, and now Mark is apparently broken as well.
Well, all right.
Very cliche.
Yeah.
Marvel at this point.
Yeah.
So I'll keep watching it. I like the idea of the character of Moonknight, and the Egyptian stuff is super interesting. I mean, that's a cool place to dive into.
Yeah.
But I think they're ruining Moonknight.
All right.
I know nothing about this character, but you've got multiple personalities, and if they're all going to be broken, they also kind of talk about the third one, but they don't reveal the third one in this one, which was interesting because, it definitely got weird. and a good weird. So yeah, get caught up, dude.
Okay. Yeah.
And
I'll have to check, make sure. Yeah, this week I can catch up so that way we can discuss and talk about it. I'm definitely interested because yeah, if you say that something is a bit borderline racist, then I got to know.
they were trying to do something and they failed miserably at it.
Yeah.
Like the choreography was just so bad. And then I'm like, was this just because this is what they think they're like? Like,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I am interested. I am intrigued. So I need to check this out.
So, well, on that note, let me say thank you for watching. Please subscribe, like, share this. I'm probably going to take this one and cut this one up into some bits. I liked our little thing on, I liked our takes on Harley Quinn. I want to call her Margot Robbie, but that's not, that's the actress.
This actress is playing her.
Yes. But no, I like the discussion on Harley Quinn, and I might put that up on it as its own little thing. So yeah, thanks for watching, and until next time, keep it nerdy.
See you guys.